Before showing you interesting list of tables, let us see what appears now in Channel 7. The Prime Minister's brother-in-law, in an interview with Channel, Dr. Hagai and Arzi, said Netanyahu also contributed to the strengthening of Hamas. The rabbis were right, the generals failed. Those who were right were the rabbis who cried out against the Oslo Agreement, against the disengagement, and against the promiscuous release of the thousands of terrorists, the Shalit deal. Therefore, the conclusion from a broad observation in the overall view is that the broad picture should be that the state of Israel should go back and listen to the rabbis and not to the generals. No, definitely is right, because we should behave according to the Torah, and the rabbis tell us what the Torah tells. But once you rely on your strength, on your logic, so we see what is going on. This is written here, frightening situation. So in YouTube we showed definitely exactly this idea. I mean, YouTube which clearly indicates the dangerous situation is because things are not as it should be, the Torah says. So let us see some of them. I mean, let us bring this one with Dr. Professor Rips found. This is in a new setup, you can see it, but one can see it in YouTube, in the internet, long time ago. So what he found? He found, this was before the Oslo Accord. So what he found is the following. Ason, the disaster of Oslo. Disaster of Oslo, unbelievable, but it's meeting the Torah of disaster of Oslo. That's all what you see came in a skip of 13 letters. Means this word, Ason, disaster, from letter to letter, 13 letters. No? And you have Oslo here, and then you have who is guilty for this? Peres is guilty, because we know he says he brought back Arafat after almost he was finished, and he said, no, let us build together two states with Arafat, a state and new state Palestinians, and he took Palestine, but then it will be so nice to have two states next to each other, Israel, no? You see what happened. Thousands of people were killed because of this. So, what is written? The disaster of Oslo, Peres, Hashem is guilty, and there is a small, because the leftists always are with the Palestinians, you know. Even flags of the Palestinians are in demonstration of the left, no? Now you can see how the Palestinians like this left, they killed left and right. Most of the people that were killed, unfortunately, were from the left. So, you have to learn. And here you have Rabin, you know. So this is what is written here. Disaster, Oslo Accord, a scheme, you know, I didn't say, but a scheme, yeah, and the leftists, Rabin, this is disaster to the children of Israel, yeah, this was disaster, and this is in black, you have a scheme, and the code of Oslo is disaster. Found it before in such a small area. No anybody would listen to it. If they would listen, we would save thousands of souls. No, what we can do. The leftists are trying to do everything against the Torah, against God, and no. Listen. So then, the other thing which we saw that the cause is a disengagement. So we did with the Professor Arzi a lot of very interesting, significant table about the disengagement, very strong one. And one of them, which is really shows that the disengagement, giving giving Arabs, the land, part of land of Israel, very nice one, very important one, and taking bodies from graves and destroying synagogues brought great anger, wrath in heaven. And this is what is written here, when you ask the question, Matai, when, Yafane Gush, when Ariel Sharon, will evacuate the Gush, Katif. So it's written here, minimal, Yud Be'av, on the 10th of the month Av, day after Tisha B'Av. And this is willingly. Those who will not agree, so on the 12th of Av, what you have here, you can read it, unbelievable. Clear indication that the evacuation of Gush Katif will be taking place by Ariel Sharon is frightening. A man who before really built settlements. No, this is from God, because it's not depends on the people, it depends on God. It's written in the heart of leaders on the end of God. It means when the Israel are fine, the leaders decide good things, not the opposite. But the most interesting here, that you have here exactly the verse, Vaycha api ba'em. God says, I was full of wrath and anger against them, because taking, what they did, frightening. Destroyed synagogue, took body from graves, such a part of Israel. Who came before them? Who came there afterwards? Missiles. Yeah. So this is also exactly one thing, and by the way, very, very highly significant. You have here that Professor Rips found out that it is 1 to 10,000. No, quite significant. You can see 10 to 1,000. No, again, something which clearly the Torah told us, that this disengagement is disaster. Yeah, what came out from these missiles, from these places, Gaza. There's another one, really, which, by the way, is important to know, this verse of Psalms, because this is explanation to what is going on. Unless the Lord builds a house, its builders labor in vain. Unless the Lord watches over the city, the watchmen stand guard in vain. What happened now? Frightening. 8,000 terrorists managed to go through, and guardians, Israelis, nothing. They slept in the guarding. As you said, in Hebrew you said, Nirdimu b'shmirah. They fell asleep while guarding. Frightening, and because of this, we lost 14,000 Jewish souls. So, this is exactly, Professor Priest said, is a disaster, nothing. What is the Torah? People say, no, don't want to believe in the Torah, just as a leftist. Then, in Gush Katif, we saw clearly it's a terrible thing to do, it will bring the anger and wrath of God. Nothing. No. And then is another one. People ask me, it will be a third intifada. So it is interesting. I found lot of letters. I would not think that I will have this word. Intifada. Third one, shalosh, shit. And it came, unfortunately, And you have the Hamas here, by the way, they're behind everything. You had Ashraf, PLO, right? And always, when I made tables, I also bring Son of Jesse and Messiah. Why? Because the purpose, this is what is written in many books, that the purpose of troubles, operations to Israel before Mashiach, to bring them to do Tshuva. This was the Rabbi says, the Tractate Sanhedrin 97a says, if Jews don't do Tshuva willingly, then troubles will come. Hamanahi, you know, a cruel leader like Haman will come and will decree terrible decrees against this. What came out? Well, this was Hamas, and so today was Iran. You have Iran twice, even Iran. Yeah, you have Irani, right? And then you have the evil forces, you know, because those powers are the result of sin, and this is what we are praying 3 times a day, asking God, remove for us the Lilith, you know, here, yeah, which is the power, the angel, really, the evil angel of lust, and the Samkel, you know, which is the evil force of Amalek, which Samakel, our Rabbi said, because doesn't want Torah and God to interfere in the world, you know. This is a lefty sort, like Samkel. No Shabbat, they don't modesty of life, nothing. Yeah. So this what comes here, Hamas, yeah, this one. Then the Intifada, a third one, this week came and killed lots of people. If you will do Shuvah, if you will repent, keep the Torah, then we have son of Jesse, then we have Messiah in green, and Moses and Leah will come with them, but unfortunately you stick to the wall, you know, the stiff-necked people don't want, they cannot give up the Shabbos, not to go with a car, to see nice places on Shabbos, cannot. This is what is the result, what we see today. So, this also telling you Arzi Asher Elokecha, the land God gave to you, and this is important also. This is what I did before. People ask me, is some indication to a certain intifada? I said, this is. And it's written here with the verse, fighting the verse about Amalek. When Jews ask the question, Ha'esh Hashem v'kirbanu im ayin, is God with us or not? Hayavo Amalek. Amalek came and fought with Israel in the desert. Our rabbis tell us that the Amalekite came to attack Israel, to fight with them because of desecration of Shabbos, which we mentioned before, because of lack of faith, and because being loose and lazy in keeping Torah mitzvot. So it means there are many more tables which clearly show clear connection with the Torah, keeping the Torah, and not keeping it cause to many, many tragedies and things. I brought few of them, but so much. You see, we did with Professor Aradik so many very significant tables about the disengagement. Some of them 100,000. Lapid, yeah, Lapid was this one who brought the evacuation with Sharon, and Lapid is the head of the Torah. And at that time, he was he was a member of the Knesset, and he called the Jews, the Orthodox people, rabbis, yeah, no Torah studying students will not get money, you know. And there is a Medrash which says clearly, there's a Medrash of Matityahu Glazerson who said, why cities are uprooted in Israel? Says because they don't support Torah, don't give money to people who are studying Torah, teaching Torah. It's written Echa, yeah, the first chapter, you can see it. And this is exactly what happened, and the rabbis told them, the great rabbis said clearly, you must know if you will do this, troubles will come. This is exactly what comes. So, as I said, I watched few, but it's so much more. But the most important we should know, unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. Like here, they're building such beautiful houses in Gush Katif, such a beautiful area, sea and so on. So what happened to these houses? They became bases for missiles, which are shot on Israel. Unless the Lord watches over the city, the watchmen stand guard in vain. What happened to all those who were supposed to watch Israel? They're sleeping. Who knows? How can 10,000 Zeus enter the land with no problem? So this is, if God does not care, God, nothing will help you. So interesting and significant tables. And this is what Dr. Ben Arzi said, you know, he's a brother-in-law of Netanyahu, and he said exactly, also, those who were right were the rabbis, definitely, the Torah, who cried out against the Oslo agreement, against the disengagement, and against the Tromishokio's release of thousands of terrorists in the Shalit deal. Therefore, the conclusion from the board of preservation is the overall view is that the broad picture should be the state of Israel should go back and listen to the rabbis and not to the generals. Then he brings like Ben Gurion and Begin especially, he would not do anything great without asking great rabbis. So this is exactly the truth, the Torah. If Jews don't keep Torah, we are where we are now, hoping that we'll do Shuvah. Because it's very famous what the great rabbi, Rabbi Eliezer in Orkonus, it's called Rabbi Eliezer Gadol, more than 2,000 years ago said that why Ishmael got in future tense. Ishmael means God will listen. Should be written, God listened like Shmael. So he said it's frightening. You can see it in the internet, in the chapter of Rabbi Eliezer, I think chapter 30 or 31. So he said, in the end of days, the descendant of Ishmael will do so many troubles to Jews. Yeah, the Jews will cry and will shout. Yeah, and God will listen to this crying, which is Ishmael, God will listen. Like in Egypt, the same thing, the same expression. Jews suffered terribly and they cried. And it's written, Vayishma Hashem et nakatam, God listened to their crying. We hope that God will listen, but we have to do kind of Shuvah, to show faith in God, to keep the Torah. So very interesting and significant table in the light of just now which I saw in Channel 7 by Dr. Hagai ben Arzi. So, as I said, I do YouTube's people who look at it and accept, understand, it's fine. If not, no. If one person will be still impressed by it, good enough.